Here we go. So, clean up my area here really quick. Not much has been going on, I don't think. It's Monday. It's the 4th. And it was brought to my attention a couple hours ago. Badly, I completely spaced it out. Probably, I meant to, but completely spaced out the election, and that it's like a couple days away, and just kind of hit me like a tree. I used to say that, hit a tree. But yeah, so not only the election, but then the aftermath of the election, and I don't know, all of a sudden I was just starting to think about, oh my gosh, what does all that mean? What does all that entail? Like, what does that mean for us? Like, in scenario A through C, at least, right? And then, what about C through Z? At least in the scenarios that I can think of in my head, which I have quite the imagination. Wow. Just wow. It's wild to think about, right? And I don't know, a large part of me thinks that it's all the hubbub is meant to keep us circling around and around and around and around and at each other's throats, obviously. But another half of me is like super excited about what might happen, and well, actually what's already happened, right? Wild. So I was thinking this weekend how I felt, switch of subjects by the way, but how I was feeling. I'm like, what am I feeling right now? Because there was this great angst, right? I don't know if angst is the right word, but there was this great anxiety, and there was no reason for it. I was good. I'm happy. It was interesting. It was noticeable. It was a noticeable difference in the way that I felt. Because there wasn't any reason for it. So I painted some more, and I was thinking, and I love that I've gotten into this painting thing again, or not even just painting. There's all kinds, like tonight I was doing, when my son and I were watching a movie, he was drawing, and then I was doing some gold leaf painting, and I like it because it allows my brain, how did I explain this? It allows my brain to chill, right? I'm in that flow state. I think I talked about this actually, because I was thinking flow and then fluid, but it allows me to just be chill, calm down, and there's nothing in my brain, nothing, which is wild because there's always something going on in there. It's a fucking shit show. But yeah, so I sat with myself and did some painting and some other stuff. I made some magnets that I'm going to be putting on the little Etsy shop. That's another thing. It's going to take me forever to like get around to that, because taking pictures and writing descriptions, that's like the worst. That doesn't sound fun at all. So I gotta figure it out. But someone send me some inspiration. What was I talking about? Oh, the polarities that I was feeling. So, I was feeling crazy polarities, and I didn't know why. It didn't make any sense at all. And I'm wondering if it didn't have anything to do with the election that I completely fucking spaced. Maybe not even the election, but the energy that's being put forth because of the wheelhouse that we're seemingly on. I logged into Twitter tonight, and I was really saddened. It was not like a super sad, but I saw someone talking about how great it was that someone was on someone else's side and finally like made the switch, and it bothered me because it bothered me to the extent, I allow it to, but this person has played the stock market and used her position to make money with the information. Anyway, I was just really taken aback. And I just double checked the account, and I was like, what is even happening right now? And I'm always pretty chill about, I could be the one that's fucking going crazy, right? I could be the one that's lost my shit. And these people are the ones that are sane. I try to keep, balance there. But yeah, in that moment, I was one. Anyway, I logged off Twitter because I can't stand that shit. But it was nice because the silver lining of that was that I heard from my friend who I went to high school with, and I haven't talked to him in a long time, a couple years. So that was nice, silver lining there. Anyway, I'm sure that people will think that I was talking about me in that tweet. I wasn't. I was talking about others that have seemed to we were all on that path and seemed to kind of veer off to some no man's land of just political circus, wheelhouse, whatever. Where are we? 7 minutes. That's not so bad. It's not so bad. Polarity. I don't know what I was feeling this week. I felt into what I was feeling this weekend, and it was polarity. And it was, I was aware of the completeness of what I have physically, like in this world, and everything is beautiful and wonderful, and I'm completely provided for. And like I was looking at my wall, talk about losing your shit, right? I was looking at my walls, and I was moments of thankfulness, and then as soon as I felt that thankfulness, then I would suddenly feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do anything. I want to be like hold up in this house, and I don't want to talk to anybody, and what if I lose my job and all of that stuff. And then I found myself, these are like moments, right, little blips, and I found myself thinking, that's insane, Sierra, you're fine, everything's good. And everybody is exactly where they need to be. Like, it's like I was viewing my emotions from outside myself, if that makes sense. I was having inner dialogue, but not the kind that I say that I, frequently have on other occasions. So, very interesting. Today I felt great. There was a lot of, let's rephrase. Okay, so my day was great. It started out great. It was great during the day. I was able to get things done. I felt very good, very focused. Then towards the end of the day, in the middle of the day, I noticed that I was starting to get a little anxious because of the incoming tasks that were being handed out and requested. And I had to talk myself down a lot today, which is interesting because it was such a chill day and it was a good, there was nothing extraordinary. There was nothing, it's slow. This is considered slow, and I was having to talk myself down and remind myself that everything is just as it is. And yeah, really interesting. I said this evening to someone that it's, if I didn't know to do these things, how messed up I would be. And then I think about people that are unhappy and perpetually unhappy, and they can't seem to get out of it. They know better. I mean, obviously that person's just not done the work, but or they don't have any hope. And then, there's hope that will just lead you into complacency. But there's some of that. How interesting, though, all of the things that are happening. It's sometimes, I wonder if we aren't the ones that, I need to start out with the re-education. Do you guys remember the re-education that came out? We were talking about how they were going to distribute re-education camps, right? And it comes into my mind often that it seems to me that there is this new way that's being more accepted or pushed. Narrative, right? If you're not in the political realm, and I guess I'm not saying this right, but the overall thing is, I often think to myself, I wonder if we aren't the ones that are being relied on to re-educate everyone with the new way. And then I think back many years ago and thinking about what I thought that meant back then and what I'm bouncing around in my head right now. And it's wild. It's wild to think about. And I try to keep that balance. So I'm always, if I'm thinking this, then, or if I'm seeing this and thinking I resonate with it, then I'm always trying to counter it with an opposing view or opposing views of several. And it is quite interesting that you can take stuff that you've read and literally turn it on its head, like flip it up, mirror, right? And then it becomes something that makes sense from another standpoint. So, I don't know. It's interesting to me to think about those things. Okay. I wonder if anybody else thinks about it. I don't think so. I think everybody's kind of caught up in their own shit, and I don't know if anybody thinks about which obviously makes me feel like an oddball. I haven't been listening to like any videos lately. It seems like everybody's regurgitating the same shit, and it's boring. It's boring. I have more fun with myself. In the pure way, you know. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm interested to see what the election brings. I think that's it. I don't have any desire to do cards. I don't know. I guess that's it. So, update.